Oh man, what a show. Claudio Castagnoli is in AEW. He debuted in AEW finally. He was the mystery opponent. You had Jon Moxley become the brand new interim AEW World Champion. You had a whole bunch of shit. On this show. This show was absolutely great, and I just want to thank New Japan Pro Wrestling and AEW for such an amazing show. Because, despite all the injuries and all the travels, Ishii wasn't. I think Ishii was injured. He wasn't appeared on the show, so it was like Clark Connors, I think his name was, replaced him. There was another guy out. I forgot who. I think he had COVID or something. So I hope that they're both well. I think Okada's injured, so I'm hoping wishing him well. Adam Cole got re-injured, I guess. So I'm wishing him a speedy recovery as well. I don't know if anyone else got injured. I feel like someone else got injured, but I don't know. People are saying this show's cursed, and there's a lot of people that got injured on the way, but with all this, and they still put on a great show. Could you imagine if we had Andrade versus Will Ospreay, and we had Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr., and whatever Kenny Omega would have done, and if CM Punk was on this show. Like, there was a lot of top guys out, and a lot of matchups fucked and this and that, and they still put on a great show. So for that, thank you AEW, thank you New Japan Pro Wrestling. Great show, hell of a show. I can't wait for the second one. Now, Cesaro is in AEW. Claudio is now with AEW. Tony Khan made it official. He got the graphic. He tweeted about the graphic. So when you get the graphic, that means you're assigned to AEW. You're not like by appearance or anything like that. You're not paid by appearance. So he's officially signed for how many years, whatever. I think it was long term. Sean Ross reported or something like that. I don't know. So that's that. So he was the mystery opponent for Zack Sabre Jr. He had a massive... By the way, people shit on Chicago, but 16,000 people in the United Center tonight, and the crowd was amazing, bro. It was like Grand Slam for, New York City for Grand Slam, bro. It was like top shit, bro. Throughout the whole night, the crowd was fucking amazing. I gotta give Chicago credit. And these are the reasons why Chicago gets a lot of shit. Good crowd. So, so they were good. So he got a massive pop. And then he went on to beat Zack Sabre Jr. So, he will be in Blood and Guts and will fight Jericho and Co. And then, so this is going to connect. So Jon Moxley, he faced Tanahashi. So I guess at the beginning was New Japan Pro Wrestling theme song, and then it went to Wild Thing. And so he came out, and then Tanahashi came out. And so they had a match. They a pretty good match. There were people who wanted Tanahashi to win, and I guess it was like to make things unpredictable and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, I guess, but no one won New Japan Pro Wrestling's title. No Adam Cole, no Hangman, no one for AEW. So I'm like, all right, maybe if that was the case, then yeah. But I guess the only one that went to was the ring of the New Japan Pro Wrestling tag titles to FTR. But they have the gimmick going where they're the belt collector. But so Jon Moxley and Tanahashi had that match. Jon Moxley was bleeding. But, I thought maybe they would have called the match that way, but nope. And then Jon Moxley ends up winning. And then Jericho's crew comes out, they beat each other. And then, then his team BCC, Eddie Kingston, so-and-so. And then Claudio gets his entrance again, like I figured. And, they beat each other up, ready for Blood and Guts this Wednesday. And, oh, man, Eddie Kingston and Cesaro get into it, like... their beef from not just online, on TV too. It's funny as hell, but so they're still beefing, and we'll see what happens this Wednesday. I still think BCC is gonna win, but we'll see. So let's continue with the rest of the show. But before we do, though, I can never be upset with Jon Moxley winning. I think Jon Moxley deserves it. First of all, he's finally get a world title, AEW world title run in front of a crowd, because when he won it, it was like a week later, and then COVID happened, and so he had to do most of all of his title reign with a pandemic, with no crowds. And I think he deserves it. Jon Moxley's great. Jon Moxley is someone you can never hate. Jon Moxley's amazing person, and I always love when he comes out, and wow, he's just awesome. And there's not that, I couldn't think of a better person to replace CM Punk. Could have been Bryan Danielson, but Bryan Danielson is hurt. He would have been another great choice. But honestly, Jon Moxley, fine. But I mean, he's fucking great. You can't go wrong with Jon Moxley. So good for Jon Moxley. Technically second, but technically not second champion, AEW champion. We'll see. But yeah, CM Punk versus Jon Moxley, that'll be fire down the line. I don't care if it happened before in WWE. I don't give a shit. It's gonna be good now. So I missed 75-80% of the buy-in by accident. I just lost track of time for some reason. It was Goto and Jesus Christ. It was Aaron Solo and QT Marshall versus Hirooki, Goto, and Yoshi-Hashi. And I mean, I don't know why. Listen, I thought that this was AEW versus New Japan Pro Wrestling, and it didn't make sense. When Chris Jericho was on the team versus Eddie Kingston, and then they were New Japan Pro Wrestling guys were on AEW team. It didn't. So I guess it's just a joint pay-per-view. So that was weird. But I don't know why QT Marshall and Aaron Solo were on this shit, bro. I would have to say who wasn't on this card, but unfortunately Lucha Bros couldn't be on this card. It was fucking ridiculous because they got that shit with CML. Whatever the fuck. I don't even care. So Goto and Yoshi-Hashi won. Nick Comoroto versus Lance Archer. Archer won. I still think AEW sent Lance Archer to New Japan Pro Wrestling, so he would be representing New Japan, I think. I don't know, it's weird. Swerve, Strickland, and Keith Lee facing Yoshinobu, could be Kanemaru and El Desperado. I don't know some of these names, honestly. But I can't believe I missed this match, bro. I wanted to see Keith Lee and Swerve, but Keith Lee and Swerve won. And then I saw some of this match, but Max Caster and the Gun Club versus Yuya Uemura, Alex Coughlin, and the DKC and Kevin Knight. The Gun Club and Max Caster won. Alright, now let's get to the main show. Jericho, Sammy Guevara, and Minoru Suzuki versus Kingston, Yuta, and Umino. Jericho and all of them win. Pretty good match. And I guess, this is why I say BCC is going to win. Jericho, they beat Eddie Kingston and them. So I think, they're going to have the win. I've always said this, even before this match. Roppongi Vice versus United Empire versus FTR for the Ring of Honor and IWGP tag titles. I said it. I knew this was going to happen. FTR takes it all. So now I think they're going to go with... they're going to take the AEW titles next. And we'll see what happens next. But... Dax Harwood was, I don't know if he was legitimately hurt, or I think that was a guy, or if it was a work injury, but he came back, but then FTR ended up winning. So nobody's hotter than FTR right now. The hottest tag team, and they're up there with the Young Bucks, if not better. We'll see. But they're fucking amazing. Malakai Black versus Pac versus Miro versus Clark Connors. I mean, Clark Connors was a replacement. He got fucked up. Miro, Pac, Malakai Black, I said this on Twitter. All three of these guys deserve it from AEW. You can't get mad that Malakai Black lost or Miro lost, because Pac deserved it. So this was a title for Pac. And I think maybe if Ishii wasn't hurt, he may have won. And because I think that New Japan Pro Wrestling is going to get this title. So it's an international title, so I guess they're probably going to get it. Bullet Club versus Dudes with Attitudes. Sting didn't come out for his entrance. But even before that, I said Sting's going to do something crazy in this match. And so Sting doesn't come up. They show the spotlight in the crowd. Young Bucks come out, whatever. And then he comes out and he's on top of the fucking tunnel and does a move, bro. Does a spot. Fucking sick, dude. This guy's 60 years old and he's doing this shit. What a fucking... I love Sting, bro. Has not missed. So Dudes with Attitudes, Sting and Darby Allin and Shingo, they win. They beat the Bullet Club. That was good. Then the Rosa versus Toni Storm. They couldn't do AEW versus Stardom because Stardom had a pay-per-view that day, I guess. And New Japan Pro Wrestling doesn't have a women's division. So they have that thing with a Stardom, so it would have been them. But Orange Cassidy versus Will Ospreay. This would have been Andrade versus Will Ospreay. But Orange Cassidy did not disappoint. You forget that Orange Cassidy is a fucking great wrestler, a phenomenal wrestler, bro. Despite that gimmick, great wrestler, bro. I love Orange Cassidy, but of course, Will Ospreay won. Can't be mad, but whatever. Zack Sabre Jr., Cesaro, I said it. Cesaro won, Claudio won. Jay White versus Adam Cole versus Paige versus Okada. I was predicting Jay White was going to win, and he did, but, Adam Cole was already working her, and there was a weird ending. And I thought that maybe, Jay White was in cahoots with the refs. The way it ended, it was so weird. And then, after the match, it was like he was dapping the ref up, like he was trying to slide him money or something. I don't know, it just looked weird to me. But then, obviously, it could have been Adam Cole being hurt. But we'll see. He was checked on by doctors, but we'll see. But it was a great match, and this and that lived up to expectations, and obviously the main event. So that's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. The video. If you did, please leave a thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe if you're new, turn that notification bell on, and I'll see you guys for the next one. Later.